The feed became memory in 2016 because the internet still felt like a place people visited, even while it was becoming a system people lived inside. That is why 2016 nostalgia keeps returning. The year is not remembered only through events. It is remembered through screens, feeds, likes, app icons, timelines, and small rituals that made online life feel like a room with walls. The reason this matters is simple. When a platform teaches people what to notice, what to post, and how to measure attention, it also teaches people what they will later remember. Start with the feed itself. A 2016 social media feed was not just a list of posts. It was a daily map of friends, jokes, news, creators, arguments, and status signals. The order of the feed told users what seemed important. The buttons told users what kinds of reactions counted. The numbers told users which moments were winning. That turns interface design into memory design. The first mechanism is visibility. People remember 2016 partly because so much of social life passed through visible public counters. Likes, retweets, loops, views, and replies made attention feel measurable. A joke was not only funny, it had numbers. A photo was not only personal, it had proof. A creator was not only creative, they had visible reach. Those numbers made ordinary internet moments feel larger than they were. The second mechanism is format. Vine mattered because 6 seconds created a sharp rhythm. Instagram still carried the memory of square photos and curated identity. Twitter timelines made public reaction feel fast and argumentative. YouTube still felt tied to search, channels, and longer creator trust. Each format trained a different style of behavior. When people miss 2016, they often miss the way those formats made behavior feel legible. The third mechanism is the hinge point. In 2016, the internet still had a strong feeling of separate rooms. Apps had different moods. A Vine did not feel like a tweet. A tweet did not feel like an Instagram post. A YouTube upload did not feel like a short vertical clip. But the logic of recommendation, measurement, and cross-platform identity was already tightening. The rooms were still recognizable, but the hallway between them was becoming a machine. This is why the nostalgia can feel confusing. People are not only missing old designs, they are remembering a moment before the modern feed felt fully consolidated. The old screen looks close because the date is recent. It looks distant because the rules have changed. That gap creates the strange feeling that 2016 is both yesterday and another era. Use a concrete scene. Picture a phone showing an old Instagram layout. The image may look harmless. A square photo, a caption, a like count, a familiar username. But the scene preserves a whole social contract. It shows how people presented themselves, what kind of polish mattered, how public approval appeared, and how success appeared on the screen. The object is small. The system behind it is not. Now picture a Vine final screen or an old loop joke. The app is gone, but the habit survived. People learned to expect fast setup, fast payoff, and repeat value. That training did not disappear when the company closed. It moved into later short video platforms. This is one reason dead apps can feel so powerful. A dead platform can still be alive in the habits it taught. At the midpoint, the real twist is this. 2016 nostalgia is not proof that the internet was better. It is proof that the internet was changing in ways people could feel before they could explain. Politics, fandom, memes, creator culture, games, and news were all colliding on the same screens. The feed made those collisions feel personal. It placed the global and the intimate beside each other every day. Pokémon Go is useful here because it shows the hopeful side of that moment. A phone screen sent people into streets, parks, and public spaces. The internet briefly looked like it could make shared physical play feel normal. But the same year also made many users notice that feeds could amplify anger, confusion, and identity conflict. The same system that moved a crowd for a game could also move a crowd through fear or outrage. That is why a good history of 2016 has to resist the soft version of nostalgia. The soft version says the year was simpler. The stronger version says the year was a threshold. People were learning to live with platforms as public infrastructure, but many still remembered the older internet as a set of smaller spaces. The tension between those two feelings is the source of the nostalgia. The fourth mechanism is identity performance. A feed is not only something people read, it is something people act inside. Users learned when to be funny, when to be angry, when to be polished, when to be casual, and when to turn private experience into public material. A platform does not need to command that behavior directly. It only needs to reward it often enough that people learn the room. This is where memory becomes selective. People remember the songs, games, jokes, interfaces, and app logos because those details are easy to feel. They forget the moderation failures, harassment, political exhaustion, and pressure to perform because those details are harder to package as nostalgia. But history needs both. The appealing surface and the uncomfortable system belonged to the same feed. So why does 2016 keep coming back? Because it gives people a visible handle on a larger shift. The screenshots are recent enough to recognize. The platform rules are different enough to study. The emotions are still warm, but the machinery has changed enough to see its shape. That combination makes 2016 useful as recent history. The takeaway is that a feed is never just a feed. It is a memory machine. It ranks attention, measures reaction, trains behavior, and leaves behind images people later treat as proof of an era. In 2016, many users were standing inside a platform world that still felt like rooms, just before the machine became harder to ignore. That is why the year keeps feeling historical. If this helped the trend make sense, please like the video and subscribe for fast, no fluff explainers. I will see you in the next one. If this helped the trend make sense, please like the video and subscribe for fast, no fluff explainers. I'll see you in the next one.